Hello, my name is Taiyo Davis. I'm making this video from Erbil, Kurdistan, northern Iraq. Currently I'm making this video from my classroom, right between classes. We are 1 hour away from Mosul, where Daesh is. The operation to liberate Mosul should begin soon. We hope it goes well. I come here today because making this video because I want to say something about the Syrian refugees in Jordan. I've been residing in the Middle East for continuously for about 6 years, 7 years starting in January, and I've worked with many different types of refugees: Palestinian, Syrian, Iraqi, Syrian, and Yazidi refugees. Based on my experience, during that experience I have documented, interviewed, I have taught, I have helped in what ways I can, even out of my own pocket. I try to do everything I can in order to help amplify the voice of the refugees, and also to kind of try to help them in their basic necessities, which there's a lot. I'm going to talk about the Syrian refugees now in Jordan, where the majority of my experience derives from. I would say that Jordan, the Syrian refugee situation is extremely bad. We're talking about a refugee population displaced from their native country, now residing in a different country, and they're experiencing a lot of problems with basic necessities. When I talk about basic necessities, I'm talking about their housing. For example, they can't afford their housing, they're not allowed to work, it's illegal for them to work. If they're caught working illegally, they can risk being deported from Jordan back to Syria. And even when they do work illegally, they're paid much less than the normal Jordanian or Palestinian. So they can't, they're trying to pay a 300 JD rent with a salary that may be 150 or 200 a month, which is impossible. It's very, very impossible. In addition to that, the basic life-saving or life-preserving medication and operations and medical services that normal people can afford through very good welfare governments or from their own private funds is not available to Syrian refugees. I've witnessed cases where children have gone without, a prosthetic arm for a long period of time. Another child needs a liver operation, a long period of time going without a liver operation. Liver operation it's life-saving. You need to do it. Cases like that, there's a lot of them, a plethora of them. I could say that I didn't realize just how bad it was until I helped a lady get a cesarean operation for her baby. You would think that would be something easy, but it's not. And you would think it'd be something very cheap, but it's not. And it was very difficult to find this lady a place that would give her a cesarean operation. And that's when I realized that the Syrian refugees in Jordan were not being provided the basic and life-preserving necessities that they needed. And unfortunately, now I'm making this video from Iraq. I am very concerned about those refugees remaining in Jordan, because what I witnessed was it was neglect. To sum it up without exaggeration or formulating a hyperbole, it was neglect. I don't know where the international funds are going, but there is a common consensus among NGO employees in Jordan and among the normal Samaritan that the money is being pocketed. Because Jordan has a high rate of corruption. It's documented. Everyone knows this. To ignore it would be irresponsible. To deny it would be just plain stupid. Everyone knows there's a high level of corruption. And of course, with that high level of corruption preceding the Syrian diaspora into Jordan, of course, the corruption is going to affect the funds, the international funds going to the Syrian refugees. So the Syrian refugees are not receiving a large percentage of the aid that the international community is sending because of the corruption. I think that needs to be corrected. There needs to be more functions to control the distribution and administration of those funds within Jordan. I do believe that there needs to be more aid. It is pretty sad when you have Jordan, which is the size of Minnesota in America, that has a GDP of 33 billion. Minnesota has 255 billion GDP. And the population and the physical size of Minnesota and Jordan are pretty much the same. But you have 25 Syrian refugee families in Minnesota and 608,000 in Jordan. So Jordan is not to blame for the neglect of the Syrian refugees completely. It also boils down to my country, America, and other Western countries not living up to their responsibilities. I'm not exaggerating, or I'm not putting it harshly or bluntly. I'm actually putting it very kindly. There are many refugees that are without the necessities that normal human beings need to function in a society, such as a job. They don't have access to education. They're not provided the medication and medical services they need to survive. Additionally, there's proliferating xenophobia within Jordan, and there's discrimination and racism, which is odd because that xenophobia and racism is similar to how Westerners view Muslim immigrants and view Arab immigrants, and even Kurdish as well, because racism confuses all of them. The appearance, it's similar. Some of the discriminatory canards that go around entail, accusations of Syrian refugees being potential terrorists. It's the same thing the West applies for Muslim and Arab immigrants, that they come to steal all the jobs. Yeah, these are the common xenophobic statements made by many different racists and different types of people. It's not a cultural thing. It happens in every human population. When you introduce an influx of a large percentage of foreign people, you have xenophobia proliferate. And it formulates itself into exaggerations such as they're stealing our jobs, they're terrorists, they come to destroy our country. And it happens in Jordan. It's prevalent in Jordan. You see Palestinians and Jordanians discriminate against Syrian refugees. I saw it many times. And Syrian refugees are not protected. God knows how many times Human Rights Watch and I, Amnesty International, other representatives of human rights groups have tried to go through the normal chain of bureaucracy within Jordan of trying to handle human rights complaints, and it didn't work. It just didn't work. Either because those NGOs within Jordan don't have enough money, they don't have enough influence, or they're just tired and just enervated. Who knows what the answer is? But I do know that they're not handling the abuse against the Syrian refugees. In one particular case, a landlord assaulted and exploited 8 different Syrian refugees, 7 to 8 different Syrian refugee families. After interviewing the third one, plainclothes security officers came to arrest the son of the interviewee the next morning. And then the rest of the families refused to participate in the interviews documenting the abuses by the single landlord in South Jordan. And that really woke up my eyes to see how they're treated. Worse than an animal. When we complained to the National Center for Human Rights Watch, no one could do anything, not even the UNHCR. And that just opened my eyes even wider to the abuses that go unchecked and undocumented within Jordan. They just want the refugees out.